Oh geez, this does not look good. What just happened over here? Excuse me guys, excuse me. Oh no! Dang it. This is our resident mature Jose Buono. Looks like he fell off. Wasn't tied up enough. I mean, this guy is heavy, and yeah, see Zach, seeing here, he's split. So, unfortunately, that means we need to remove him, and we got to pot him up separately.
That was painful.
Wow. Well, I mean, they'll live, but gotta put him in a pot by himself. That is wild. Look at all the roots. Poor buddy. Well, you propagated himself. We were just talking about that. So, yep, Jose Buono decided to prop himself. Wow, look at that. Roots. Woo! Wow. Already? I know. Crazy, right? All right, so Operation Save Jose. We are going to repot this piece that just broke off. So for stability purposes, I'm going to remove these few bottom lower leaves. I'll do one more. All right, and then all right, go ahead and drop them down. We're gonna keep them towards the front of the pot a little bit so that we can put a stake in at the back. So here, you hold them, I'll fill. These are aerial roots, not soil roots. So we do wanna make sure that at least in these first couple of weeks, we keep it moist, but not super, super saturated where the roots could rot. We need them to kind of transition from aerial to soil bound. Yep, stay there. Let me get on the other side. I think we're gonna be okay with that. So keep holding it, Hunter, and then now I'm gonna take this stake. All right. Can you hold this as well, Hunter? And then let me
Reclaim this land.
All right,
Continue.
so we're gonna zip tie them to this stake. Gonna have to train this up a little bit. Plants have rigid cell walls, but with some, careful, not too fast. A little shaking, vibration. All right, hold it right there, Hunter. You feel the tension there? Okay. We're gonna need two. Ah. All right, let go. Nice. Awesome. All right, I am happy with that. So now we're gonna take them out of here and we gotta water them in. Ugh. So I'm gonna support it while Hunter waters so that the stake kind of sets in place and doesn't fall over. I didn't fill the pot all the way because, like I mentioned, those were aerial roots. We don't want to overfill it with, you know, saturated soil. So. All right, I'm happy with that. And, well, new lease on life. So we'll just start over. I'm curious to see if these are inflorescences that are still forming. I'm curious to see if they abort them and, you know, drop them off. Just because it was, you know, kind of severed. So we'll see. But awesome, we saved them. Operation Save the Jose was a success, so high five. Look at the little baby Vrija Courier Arrajou seedlings. These are Bromeliad seedlings. They're adorable. So this guy bloomed. This was longer. This is the old seed head. So they were flowers. They were really, really cute, tiny flowers. And then I didn't pollinate it, and I forgot about it. And then a few weeks later, I noticed like dandelion fluff on the ground right by this plant, like scattered across the ground because the ground was wet and it was stuck to it. And I was like, wait a second. And I like followed the steps back, and I realized that they had come from here and had released and poofed the seeds. And so then, as I was told to do, I applied the poof of the seed, the poof of the seed on just top of sphagnum moss, and I've kept this on it, and I'm opening it every day, so it's super humid. And you can see, so that brown part is the end of that dandelion poof, okay? That the little, which is the seed, that the little baby bromeliads are now starting to poke themselves out of. And so this was not a plant I was ever expecting to grow to be able to bring to you guys, but it literally threw its babies at me, so I had to do my, horticultural duty and collect them and grow them. So pretty cool and super cute stoloniferous bromeliad. So it puts out these stolon runners, and we'll just keep pupping and putting out all these babies. Okay, wait, also, can we talk about the baby Tillandsia that is growing epiphytically on this leaf that I'm just now noticing? Completely different species, probably just a seed that got stuck in the nursery that I got this from another, again, just poof, floating in the wind, got stuck there. That is so cool. Epiphyte on epiphyte. Look, there's another one in here. Look at all of them. That's awesome. Seedling update. These are our mystery Adenium obesum seedlings. So if you recall from a previous vlog, I want to say 7 or 8, go check it out. Zach will put the link below. I found seeds on one of our Indian hybrid Adeniums, but I didn't pollinate it. So I didn't know what the cross was, who it would be, if it was something unique, but again, I did my horticultural duty and I decided to plant the seeds, and look at them now! They've grown so fast, like super fast. And one of them even is like starting to branch. And so what I'm gonna do is I am going to give them their first chop. Adeniums are a type of succulent known as a caudiciform, where they get this swollen trunk that's for water storage. And so in order to enhance and get that trunk to be even bigger, it's good to give their tips a snip, and it forces, fatter growth. So stay tuned, and then one day soon maybe we'll get them to bloom and see what the flowers look like. So on March 3rd, I hybridized some Rhipsalis, and so I took pollen from this Rhipsalis elliptica and I put it on a bunch of other Rhipsalis that I had in the greenhouse. A lot of those berries on those other Rhipsalis are still forming, and so I also took some pollen from other Rhipsalis and put it on this elliptica. And so you can see I had marked it with a Sharpie at the time of which berries. So like these 3 berries are hybrid berries. They're still forming, they're still green, they're not quite engorged, and they haven't turned to color yet. But one of the Rhipsalis hybrids I did was on a Rhipsalis mesembryanthemoides, and those berries, for whatever reason, decided to be fully ready, be fully ripe basically earlier than all the other ones. And so these 2 berries here, again, I marked it with Sharpie so you can see how I put Sharpie on that leaf, and there's even some Sharpie on that berry still, and same with this other one up here. See the Sharpie mark? And so these 2 berries are a hybrid between this elliptica and this Mesembryanthum moides. So what we're going to do is we're going to collect each of these berries. 1, boop, 2. Babies in here. And so in these berries are a cluster of a bunch of really tiny seeds. You can actually almost see them through there, translucent. They're like black specks. And so we're going to squeeze them out and we're going to sow them directly on top of this soil here. So this is basically just a mix of half fine perlite, half BM6, which is our usual potting substrate, which is peat moss and perlite. And so I believe they pop from the back. So I'm going to try, see it here? Let me put this guy down. And then I'm going to push. See him popping out there? Ooh, look at all those babies. And so each of those individual black specks is a new potential Rhipsalis hybrid that I'm just going to try to put here on the soil. I want to make sure there's none left on my hands. That would suck to potentially, you know, wash off or wipe away a baby. And here we got 2. All right, I think that's all of them from that berry. So I'm not going to mark on here exactly where I put it. I mean, it is kind of just an estimate. So we'll just spread them out on the soil, and when they germinate, we'll know that that's what they are. So then again, with the second berry, I'm going to, there we go. Taking them, we'll put them on this side this time, spread them out some. All right, and so then I already wrote the tag. The tag has, so when you write a hybrid cross, you're supposed to list the female first. So these technically are Rhipsalis Mesembryanthum moides crossed with Rhipsalis elliptica. I have the date that we just sowed the seeds, which was today. And we're going to go ahead and stick it in the pot. I'm going to use the mist head. I'm going to mist it in, and then from there I'm just going to leave it regular greenhouse conditions. I'm going to make sure the pot never dries out. It is essential, really crucial for germination for these guys to stay consistently moist, but never super saturated. So this pot, it is a shallow pot. A bulb pan is this type of pot with drainage on the bottom. And so, yeah, I'll mist it in, and then we just have to wait. From what I hear, it takes a really long time for Rhipsalis seeds to germinate, and I actually have, stay here, Zach. I have some babies. These are Pseudo-Rhipsalis ramulosa seedlings that are probably close to 2 years old at this point. That's a weed.
2 years
But so,
old.
yeah, so you can see each of this here basically is the seedling. And then what it's putting out from the center is the first true leaves, which we know they're not really leaves, they're modified stems, known as phylloclades. But so they take a really long time to germinate, and if these are close to 2 years old, they're still really small. So I wouldn't expect this new hybrid to, you know, be available for probably 2 to 3 years at least. But it is exciting that we potentially made a new hybrid that doesn't exist yet. So stay tuned. As you know, we're always growing more.
With that, we're really thankful for what we get to do. There's not a whole lot of greenhouse operations that have the age of workforce that we do. We're a lot of young kids. We have a diverse group of people, but by average, very, very young. And our world definitely needs the next generation of growers. There's a lot of people in the urban sprawl that's happened in Orlando that don't have the next generation in their family to run it. Their property values are worth a lot more. There's a lot less plants being grown in Central Florida than when I was born. And we want to do our part to continue that legacy over here in Oviedo and continue to grow the next generation of growers.